to know about your music. I think think that's a pretty good vote of confidence in your taste in music. Not to say music too many times, but you know.
Yeah. Anyway, spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player Kelvaro, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our shiny blue, beautiful Protoss Raekyr, and Kelvaro speaking Korean ease. So.
I think that's just intimidation.
Okay, and Raekyr does
wow.
it. How are they typing this? Do they have special fancy macro keyboards or something?
I have no idea, but I think Raekyr countered his intimidation with more intimidation.
Yeah, his had more lines in it, so I'm assuming that means it was better.
He's letting Kelvaro know you can't intimidate this.
So nothing fancy going on from either players, just the basic opening. Not gonna see a 10 pool or 9 pool or anything. And oh my goodness, Cheerios. Come on. Am I the only person that doesn't know how to Triforce? That's essentially, this is like StarCraft Triforcing right now.
I don't know either. I'm with you on that.
I'm gonna see. I'm going to type something I don't know, but I'm using Alt keys. Apparently StarCraft supports Alt characters.
I'm not even going to attempt that. It's beyond my power. Although I did find it interesting that you called the Protoss beautiful. I think Protoss is beautiful. Zerg's kind of icky.
But you can't. I would love to see some steampunk Terran units. That would be a great skin if they changed the entire skin of the race to steampunk. However, I think the issue that they don't do too many skins is because if you change the entire thing, it might confuse what unit is what if they change it too much.
Maybe. Now, I did notice that the spawning pool from Kelvaro was a little later than what I've normally seen, but he followed it up with a really quick extractor.
You think he's going for a quick Baneling bust, perhaps? Or a 7 Roach?
It's difficult to say since I don't play Zerg, but usually with gas this early, he's going to try to get metabolic boost as quickly as possible, and we'll see after that whether or not he's going to go for Banelings or a fast layer, just depending on if he keeps his drones in gas.
So the probe is not going to stay in there and actually scout what is going on. He does have 2 Zerglings on the way. It's just some basic defense. Double Queen, so he's going for macro heavy play, and Warpgate Tech is on the way from Raekyr.
Yeah, he hasn't. Oh, there goes his second base.
So the Overlord is going to spot that. Double
probe gives a nice howdy do to the 2 Zerglings.
Zergling's going to go ahead and run on by and leave the probe there, just kind of taking a deep breath, enjoying life, now in the shadow of the Overlord.
And Kelvaro did keep his drones in gas. I think we're going to see a quick layer into possibly some Banelings.
2 Zerglings are going to do absolutely nothing. He's going to try to scout up the ramp. He's going to make it in. He's going to go for a wide spread around so he can get the biggest scout he can with the Zealot, just kind of giving up and standing there. I'm too
I don't
tired.
think he's going to see much, though. Raekyr really doesn't like that Zergling being in there.
We do have the probe trying to make its way back to the base with 2 Zerglings hot on its tail. The Zealot's going to come down and save it. Just in time.
Kelvaro's building up a lot of gas. He puts down double Evo chamber. I think we're going to see a pretty macro game from both players. I don't foresee any early aggression or any sort of Baneling bust coming out of Kelvaro, at least not right away.
So the Speedlings research is done, and he has the double Evo chambers done. Let's see if he actually puts it. Yep, he's got the 1-1 upgrades on the way, and more Zergling harass also to go along with that.
All right. So, if I had to guess, I think Kelvaro might be going into some sort of mutiling type of game. He's keeping his drones on gas. He hasn't flooded gas yet, but he's getting the melee upgrades.
Now, I have heard from a lot of players, not that I know personally because I don't play either of these races, but apparently Muta is extremely effective against Protoss.
Yeah, when Mutalisk gets to a certain number, I'm not quite sure what that number is, but it's somewhere in the 20s, it is almost impossible to deal with just Stalkers.
I have seen the Blink Stalkers have a pretty good chance of actually blinking under them and taking out a good half of the chunk, depending on how many there are.
Yeah, it's just hard to say with Stalkers, just because Stalkers have a single fire attack and Mutas
we do have roaches
have
on the
more
way.
AoE.
We have Oh No's going for his prediction. He says fast ultra is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Baneling
Nest on the way.
There we go.
I think the roaches might have just been a reaction from Kelvaro seeing that many sentries. He might be thinking that Raekyr is going to come with some aggression, and he needs the roaches for defense.
Now, he is pushing with a probe, so he's probably going to build a proxy pylon. The mothership core is over there, I see, trying to harass the queen.
Taking some damage.
So there's the probe is going to get left behind. There's the pylon. I'm assuming warp gate tech has already been finished.
Yes.
There goes the queen.
And it does look like Raekyr is going to do some harass. Stargate on the way with a robo.
Very late third for Kel, actually. There is a proxy pylon that's going to be right next to that hatchery if the probe can get up there before the creep gets there. Nope, it doesn't look like he made it. He's going to put it behind it, though.
We have a lot of Banelings on the way. Banelings are very effective against Raekyr's army right now. He's going to need some really good force fields.
No.
He needs to force field away those Banelings. He can't let them get close.
Very
my
nice.
god, that was beautiful.
Oh
no!
Oh, they take out every sentry. This is going to get cleaned up very quickly. The mothership core just needs to get out of there. He is warping in more zealots, though. Banelings are going to take those out with almost no effort whatsoever. Making sure he doesn't waste the Banelings on what was left.
And the mothership gets a roach kill.
Mothership core, you did something. Congratulations. Let's see what Raekyr's going to follow up with. This Void Rays and Immortals are going to be the hard counter to what he feels. That's great considering the Immortals pretty much fluff off a bunch of Baneling hits.
And I think that Ultralisk prediction is going to be dead on now that we see the infestation pit on the way. No sign of a spire or anything.
7 spore crawlers. He's expecting a heavy air attack coming from Raekyr.
Either that or he doesn't want to get caught by any DTs. But
now, I think he noticed when he got into the third base that it was not being used very heavily, so he knows that Kelvaro is still mainly on 2 bases. Now, there's the run. There's no... the Zealot was not at the entrance like it should have. The shield was able to keep that horde out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risky move by Raekyr, but if you do get a good force field, you can take out half of that army.
He is starting to float quite a bit of minerals. I don't know if he wants to maybe plan on taking a third, which would be great at this point, catching up to his Zerg counterpart.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that's what Raekyr does want to do. He wants to get a third. He just needs to establish map control. Kelvaro with these speedlings and a huge number of them is going to have a lot of map control.
Now, what would be great if these Void Rays actually decided to circle around, though the Spore Crawlers are at a very good location, so I actually don't think any air harass is going to have any effect.
Yeah. Maybe he could take out some tech with the Baneling Nest and the spawning pool, but that would be all the sort of harass that he could do with those Void Rays.
There's the Ultralisk Cavern as predicted. Army supply is currently favoring Raekyr, though, with his Ultralisk coming out. I'm sure he's going to start stacking his resources so he can get as many out as possible. 3-3 is on the way. We do have the Warp Prism actually going up for some harass. It looks like at the... I never know what you call the original base. I just like to call it the main base.
Yeah, main base is a pretty good...
Because usually you always hear natural, and then you say third, and then fourth, but I never understand the terminology for the main base, or... I'm not sure what you call that. Anywho, the Ultralisk Cavern is getting the immediately Chinotis plating, so that's... I hate that upgrade with a fiery passion, especially when you have a ton of Marines. Is that how it is pronounced? Chitinous?
It's how I've heard it pronounced by all the pro streams.
Okay, so chitinous.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where. Zerg has some of the funkiest research titles, and I have the hardest time remembering what they are.
My personal favorite is Zerg Bree.
Say that again, you cut out real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Zerg Ground Carapace. You know, nice, simple. Everyone knows what it is.
He does have Overseers out. I'm not sure if he's actually paranoid. There is a third coming from Raekyr. I did not notice that. But a fourth also coming from Kel, so they're going to be even on that. We have one Ultralist on the way.
Alright, and this is interesting, seeing High Templar. I wonder if Raekyr is going to continue to go down that tech path once he sees Ultralisks.
Unfortunately, that Observer is... I thought I had an Observer out. I don't know where it went, but it is not doing its job. There is an Observer. It is floating back. Oh, the Ultralists are going to tear through this. The shield is trying to get the Zerglings back. Yeah,
unfortunately, Ultralists being the massive creatures that they are, they completely step all over force fields.
Void Rays acting their armor ability, actually pushing back that attack. Army supply is still favoring Kel, though. He is reinforcing his army. 42 Zerglings popping very quickly.
Yeah, with all those Zerglings, Psionic Storm might be very strong. There was a drop in the main. I don't believe it did any real damage.
No, the Zerglings looked like they actually popped just as it was coming down.
Oh, Raekyr might get a free Ultralisk.
Bad Ultralisk rally point. Does he not have Blink? He doesn't. Blink would have netted him a free Ultralisk.
Got a Spire on the way now.
There is an Overseer floating by the Stargate. Getting easily free scouting, just sitting there this whole time. Observer is floating in the middle. I really feel like he should go out and see what the army composition is of Kel's army.
Yeah, he would see a lot of Banelings and Zerglings, something that is really easy to take out with Psionic Storm.
The Banelings are going to rush in and take out all the weak units, and then the Ultralisk can take care of everything else.
Well, it's actually kind of interesting because there aren't that many weak units from Raekyr. Immortals and Stalkers are both very good against Banelings. However, they are not Zerglings.
No, and
there are a lot of
no
Zerglings.
Storm to take care of the Zerglings. He's trying to shoot them off, however, nothing. The Banelings can't get in to do their damage, though. Looks like most of the Banelings are actually being taken out by the Void Rays. The Banelings do get in, however, going straight for the mineral line.
Void Rays focusing down the Ultras, although they stop.
Where are the Banelings going? They're just getting killed off by the Void Ray. The Zerglings are chasing the probes. This is looking very bad for Raekyr at the moment.
Yes, but he does have a third base established. It's not being focused just yet. Oh, and we have Mutalisks on the way.
Unfortunately, Kel has so much mineral stacked at this point. Raekyr is out of money. This Ultralisk is going to get the kill, it looks like, on the Nexus. His main is mined out for the most part, and the Zerglings are finding the third. This is GG at this point. There is no recovery.
I think, yeah. If it wasn't at that point, definitely once he saw the Mutalisks.